What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., and everything you need to know about on a daily basis. Money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update. I will keep you up to date here with everything you need to know about. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here on our YouTube channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember those times and tune in every day so you don't miss out on any new videos. And also, if you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. We got a lot to talk about here, some major news here. Let's jump right in. First up, Russia has been increasing their troops on the Ukrainian border, and an attack could come any day. Check this out.
As we have President Biden speaking with Ukrainian President Zelensky today, less than 24 hours after a notable conversation with Vladimir Putin. So what do we know about today's call?
Well, Alex, we know that the call started at 10:45 this morning. It's the first chance for President Biden to get to speak to Ukrainian President Zelensky, obviously, since Biden had that phone call yesterday with President Putin lasting a little more than an hour. And so President Biden expected to use this call as a chance to brief the Ukrainian leader on what took place in that call, which officials tell us was essentially a whole lot more of the same, with neither side really budging from their past positions. Officials here at the White House saying that it was substantive and professional, but that there was really no shift in the Russian position, that they are still making demands that the U.S. and NATO are not going to consider. This is also, though, the first chance for Biden to get to speak to Zelensky since Zelensky made some stunning comments yesterday, basically pleading with the U.S. To stop creating panic in the country, as the U.S. is now evacuating many of its diplomats. And Jake Sullivan, the national security advisor, is saying this today about the threat to Americans in Ukraine.
What we are trying to do publicly is be transparent to American citizens that they should leave Ukraine immediately, because there will not be a military evacuation in the event of an invasion. And we are trying to tell the Ukrainians to prepare and be ready for this as well as coordinate with our NATO allies and partners so that we are able to defend NATO territory and deter any further Russian aggression.
And overnight, Alex, we also heard from Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who has been traveling overseas, and he says that nobody around the world should be surprised if in the next period of time we see some type of false flag operation from Russia seeking to make it look like Ukrainians are attacking Russians or Russian interests to try to create a justification for Russia to then start this invasion, which officials continue to say after that Biden call with Putin yesterday could really begin at a moment's notice.
Yeah, so the U.S. says that the Russian forces have now increased their forces from around 100,000 to now 130,000. And one would logically think that if they're increasing their forces and their military presence and their supplies there, what do you think they're doing that for? I mean, common sense would make you think that they're probably going to be doing something here, and it's not playing chess or playing checkers. So looks like there's going to be something probably happening here, and it's probably going to be happening soon. It's just probably what common sense tells you here. And negotiations are going nowhere. And the U.S. is set to pull all personnel from Kyiv here within 48 hours because we can't really put troops into Ukraine because it's not our territory. So we're not going to be having U.S. personnel and U.S. military people in Ukraine. It's not really our battle to fight there in Ukraine. So at least at this point, unless some type of major shift in strategy or something like that changes at this point. Here's what President Biden had to say. Check this out.
I made it clear to President Putin that if he makes any more moves and goes into Ukraine, we will have severe sanctions. We will increase our presence in Europe with our NATO allies. and it'll have to be a heavy price to pay for it.
Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here. I will keep you up to date with this situation, and it doesn't look pretty. Next up, here is Democratic Senator Michael Bennet from Colorado speaking on the child tax credits and the adult tax credits here. Here we go.
Great. We're here today to talk about the expanded child tax credit and the earned income tax credit, which together are the biggest step to help families and working people in this country in a generation. We tripled the earned income tax credit, which meant that 17 million workers without children benefited from it, and almost every family, 90% of the families in this country, have received the benefit of the expanded child tax credit. In Colorado, that's been an average of $445 a month for families. 61 million kids in this nation have benefited, a million kids in Colorado. We've cut childhood poverty nearly in half in this country. We've cut hunger by 25% in the United States this year alone because of these tax policies. In my view, these are the most successful and most progressive social policies that have been passed by Congress in generations. And we've seen a substantial, as I said, substantial reduction in child poverty as a result. Families all over the country have said, for once, it's nice to see the government in Washington doing something for us. And as American families are facing higher and higher costs, facing inflation, the last thing we should be doing is cutting this child tax credit. In my view, the last thing we should be doing is doubling childhood poverty, increasing hunger in the United States by 25%. I've been around this place for long enough to see what happens when wealthy people's tax cuts expire, and they're extended as a matter of course. I've seen what happens in this place when some of the largest corporations in America have their tax cuts expire. We do everything we can to make sure that those tax cuts are extended by the end of the year, and we have not done that. And as a result of that, we're doubling the childhood poverty rate in this country, and as I said, we're increasing hunger. So I think we are here today to say that we want, as a centerpiece of any package that we pass together, any reconciliation package, that the expanded child tax credit and the expanded earned income tax credit should be part of that, must be part of that. Every single person up here thinks we should make these changes to our tax code permanent.
Also, independent Senator Bernie Sanders, who's the Senate Budget Chairman, the person in charge of the reconciliation process, had a couple interesting things to say on Twitter yesterday during the Super Bowl. Check this out. Yeah, Bernie Sanders tweets out on Twitter, how does it happen that SoFi, a student loan refinancing company, could spend $625 million to put its name on the LA Rams football stadium? They beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, we were so sad. You know, I'm from Ohio, and Ohio teams don't make it to the Super Bowl very often. The Browns have never been to the Super Bowl, never even made it there. They've won some championships before it was the Super Bowl, but and the Cincinnati Bengals have never won a Super Bowl, I think. Yeah, it was a sad day for Ohio. But it says, how could SoFi, a student loan refinancing company, could spend $625 million to put its name on the LA Rams football stadium when 45 million Americans are drowning in $1.8 trillion in student debt? Wow, that's a lot of money. Today would be a good day for the president to cancel student debt. Wow. Interesting thought there. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. And now remember that last year, President Biden did cancel $11.5 billion in student loan forgiveness. This wasn't for everybody. Every time I mention this, it was only for certain groups of people with disabilities, schools that defrauded people or closed on people, and people in the public service loan forgiveness program. But we're probably going to see a lot more this year as well. So if you have student loans here, I will keep you up to date here on this program here as well. But last year there was $11.5 billion in student loan forgiveness done last year. And this year already, the student loan company Navient was forced to cancel $1.7 billion in private student loan debt. You can see here the decision was part of a deal the student loan company reached with 39 states. I believe it was through a lawsuit. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story. The Navient had to cancel $1.7 billion in private student loan debt. These were for private student loans, okay? So it was very kind of interesting there. So the $11.5 billion for last year was mostly through non-private student loans owned through the government. The Navient student loans that was this year, this was just January 2022, so basically last month, was for private student loans. So we do have a lot of student loan forgiveness actually going on in 2021 and 2022, and there'll probably be a lot more going on here. And honestly, student loan forgiveness used to be a joke years ago. People thought that student loan forgiveness would never happen. If you go back 10 years ago or 20 years ago, if you said, hey, I want student loan forgiveness, and used to say that, people would look at you and say, yeah, right. Student loan forgiveness, like you can't even get your student loans forgiven in bankruptcy. And it was kind of a flying unicorn, right? It would never happen. And now, I mean, I just showed you the articles, right? There's billions and billions of dollars of student loans being forgiven almost on a monthly basis, right? And President Biden has said in the past that he might forgive up to $10,000. Progressive Democrats want to do $50,000 of student loan forgiveness per person in mass. So this is something that could be happening this year. I'll keep you up to date on this. And also, I think that if that happens in mass, that we also could see another push. About 1 in 6 adults have student loans. Okay. And then we also could see other types of debt forgiveness as well. Remember, if this sounds crazy, remember how crazy student loan forgiveness used to sound, right? Remember how crazy stimulus checks used to sound. If you go back 20 years ago, stimulus checks used to sound crazy. What, like the government will just send you a check just for fun? Yeah, I know that used to be a crazy idea. What, like the government will just send you monthly checks for having children? What, like the child tax credits? Oh, yeah, I know. Such a crazy idea, right? Yeah, that actually happens, right? Yeah, so all these crazy ideas actually end up happening. Universal basic income happens. So all these crazy ideas end up happening. So I think that once more and more student loan debt forgiveness happens, I think there'll be a big push for other types of debt forgiveness for people who didn't get the student loan debt forgiveness. Other types of debt forgiveness they could do: mortgage debt forgiveness. The government actually owns the majority of mortgage-backed securities through Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, so two government organizations. Okay, they also could do tax forgiveness, IRS tax forgiveness, tax lien forgiveness, property tax forgiveness. Government owns all that type of stuff. Okay, they also could do other types of debt forgiveness, like credit card debt forgiveness, medical debt forgiveness. The IRS or the government doesn't own that, but they could wipe that away with a stimulus package, basically just fund it. Okay. And I know that stuff might sound crazy, but so does, back in the day, stimulus checks used to sound crazy. Like what? The government would just give you money because people are in need? What? The government would just give you checks because you have children? I know it sounds kind of crazy, but think about all those things that actually happen. What, the government will just give you money because you have student loans? They'll just wipe them away? I know, as crazy as some of those things sound, think about all those things that are actually happening. I know, you can't make this stuff up, right? Also, as crazy as some of this stuff is, I want to bring you up. I want to remind you of this as I do my my daily research here on a daily basis. just another article I happened to come across. It's a great reminder here. The LIHEAP program, which is basically Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, stands for LIHEAP, LIHEAP. Funds are still available to help with heating bills. Okay. There is millions and millions and millions of dollars available for utility assistance. You also can get electric bill assistance as well. Utility assistance is available right now. As you can see here from this basically headline article that I just brought up during my daily research. I mean, daily research, I just literally just have, dozens and dozens and dozens of articles here. You can see all these tabs here. I have just, my wife helps me with the majority of our research here. And this is what we do here. We spend hours and hours and hours and hours of research here to bring you guys the news here of what is happening here with our country, stimulus news, and everything going on here. But I want to remind you guys that there is literally money that you guys can claim, that you guys can get to help you pay for your utility bills. Anywhere from several $100s to $1,000. Some people have actually gotten as high as $1,500 in utility assistance, heating bill assistance, electric assistance. Yeah, and it's through the LIHEAP program and several other programs here. So what's interesting here is that you actually can claim this at sometimes every single year. Every single year. So once you know how to do this, it's money that you can get every single year. It's kind of like stimulus type of money for low income Americans. So I have a video showing you how to do this, and I'll link you to this here in a moment, as well as rent assistance, mortgage assistance, and utility assistance. If you haven't applied for any of this stuff, if you got a little bit of time, you definitely should. The rent assistance is starting to run out in some areas. Hopefully, if you've been watching my show for a while, you've applied for it by now and maybe gotten it. I know that not everybody gets approved for it. The utility assistance is a really good one as well, and the homeowners assistance is as well. I know the rent assistance and the homeowner assistance can be hit or miss. Sometimes they require you to be behind on your rent or homeowner assistance. Some states do, some states don't. It's really hit or miss, but a lot of states don't. A lot of states, I've had literally thousands of comments of people saying, "Thank you so much, Jimmy. I just got 3 months of my rent paid, 6 months of my rent paid, 12 months of my rent paid." And a lot of those were from people that weren't behind on rent. Some states do require you to be behind on rent. I don't know why they do that. It's just hit or miss. The states that are requiring people to be behind on rent are also the states that have way too much money in their rent assistance and homeowner assistance, and they can't give it all away because they're too strict on their criteria. And now they're having to go back and loosen up their criteria because they can't give enough of the money away. I know, it's just, sometimes the people running these programs are just, not totally in touch with reality. They have good intentions, but the problem is that if you're behind on your rent, you're close to eviction, and by the time they get the money out, it's like too late. It's just like sometimes they have good intentions, but their follow through and the time it takes to do these programs is not the greatest, not the greatest. And if you've applied for these rent assistance programs, sometimes it takes them a couple months to do it, right? And it's just, the government, they're just not fast at anything. Let's be honest, right? I'm here making 3 videos a day, and they're taking their sweet time and everything, right? Maybe we should be running these programs, right? Because we'd be pumping them out, right? Yeah, don't get me started on government anything, right? They're just not the fastest, not the fastest. Maybe they just need to hire more people. I don't know. But let me know your thoughts here. I'll link to several videos here. I have videos literally just showing you how to apply for this stuff. It's completely free to apply for all this stuff. I don't charge you a penny. It's free to watch my shows, free to subscribe, free to hit the like button. That's all I ask. It's just free. That's it. Help us reach our goal of 400,000 subscribers. It's just kind of a goal of mine. We're almost there. I'd like to reach 1 million subscribers, but the YouTube algorithm just doesn't promote me to new people that much anymore. unfortunately. So the old subscribe. There was a time I gained 100,000 subscribers in a month. It's just the algorithm just doesn't it's just doesn't promote us. It's just, you know, the algorithm has its own mind. You know, those were the good days of new subscribers. But honestly, we still get a lot of viewers because you know, our viewers are just awesome. Our community is awesome here. Just new subscribers. It's just kind of a, I don't even know how to say it. It's just kind of a goal of ours. So anyways, if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button down below. I will keep you up to date here with everything. Help us reach 400,000 subscribers. We're almost there. We're like 398,800. We're almost there. So remember, new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Here's the videos you guys want to watch next. This top video here is our newest video. This bottom video over here is for utility assistance, how to claim that. This video over here is how to apply for rent assistance and how to get your rent paid. And this video over here is how to apply for homeowners assistance up to $80,000 you can get if you're a homeowner. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.